So apparently every girl's ex was toxic or abusive, and she was perfect. Recent studies from the University of Delusion have confirmed that no woman has ever been the problem. I've never heard a girl say, "It was me. He tried really hard, but I gaslit him and keyed his car." It's always he was insecure, he manipulated me, he didn't know how to handle a real woman. If you've had 11 boyfriends in 9 years and every single one of them had the same problem, at some point, just mathematically speaking, that just can't be true. You smashed his windshield, changed your number, and then posted a TikTok, healing in silence. And now every time a guy asks for a basic respect, he's controlling. Every time he checks in, he's giving narcissist. More likely than not, sometimes he was the problem, sometimes you were the problem. You all just need God and not a new boyfriend.
Do you want to know one thing that women are obsessed with when it comes to men? One thing. Even if they don't vocalize it, they're going to be drawn to you. Well, listen to my words. And if you need help breaking toxic cycles, my link is in the bio. A woman is obsessed with a man that knows his worth. A man that does not beg. And when I say beg, I'm saying for attention, communication, affection, consistency. He ain't begging. He knows his worth. If you are playing games, you can't give me what I need, I'm removing myself and going elsewhere to somebody who does. And even if there's not someone right around the corner, I'm gonna wait for the person that actually does give it to me, because this isn't worth it. I'm not dealing with it. That energy drives a woman crazy, because they know they can't play games. They have to stay straight. They have to be on the course of giving consistent energy, because if they don't, they know you will leave. And that right there is the whole point of this. A woman that knows that she's with a man that really values himself and will walk away if he's not getting what he needs, keeps her in line. And it is attractive to her because she knows that she's a choice. It's not coming from, I'm gonna settle for this person. She is a choice, she has to stay in line, and she is addicted to that confidence and to those amazing standards that you have.
A lot of these men have realized that, unfortunately, for a lot of these modern women, it might seem like opting out is the best choice. Because when you look at how much stress you have to go through, modern women being inconsistent, just those two alone will have you saying, or, you know, kind of reconsidering and saying, well, maybe this is not the journey for me right now. Maybe I need to go build myself up. Maybe I need to focus on myself. Maybe I need to put a little bit more into who I am.
Why men slowly lose interest, even in women they love. Psychology shows this does not usually happen suddenly. At the beginning, everything feels effortless and strong, and both people feel emotionally connected. But attraction is not something that stays the same forever. It changes based on emotional patterns, familiarity, and how the brain responds over time. When a man is emotionally engaged, his attention is high and consistent. But as something becomes part of his daily life, the brain starts to normalize it. What once felt exciting starts to feel familiar and predictable. And familiarity reduces emotional intensity without the person even realizing it. It is not about one moment or one mistake. It is a gradual shift that happens through small, unnoticed changes in perception and emotional response. This is why distance in relationships is often not felt immediately. It builds slowly until one day it becomes obvious. And most people only realize it when the emotional shift has already happened.
You know, men have decided it's easier to take a step back. It's easier to opt out rather than trying to hop into confusion, rather than trying to force my way into a situation that, quite frankly, doesn't seem advantageous to me. Doesn't seem like it's going to go well. So I'm not going to sit up there and continue to be like, oh man, I got to get her. No, I don't. The alternative with me forcing myself into this space is I have somebody acting crazy with me. And I don't have time for that.
If a man stops texting you, do this. First off, don't take it personally. I mean, yes, people really are busy. He could be having a very busy day. But if this keeps happening over and over again, here's what you do. You send him a long paragraph asking exactly why he's not replying to you and telling him how much he's going to miss you in his life. I'm kidding. Don't fucking do that. No, instead, move on with your life. Don't say anything. Just turn around, walk the other way. I guarantee you that will send a much more powerful message than any text, any call, or any conversation ever could. Don't give your energy to men who aren't obsessed with you. Obsessed in a good romantic way, not in a crazy way. Because I wrote an entire book teaching you how to make a man obsessed with you. But when I say obsessed, I don't mean crazy manipulation. I mean you create a healthy, loving type of obsession. And also in the book, I teach you how to know the difference between the guy who's going to waste your time and the guy who's actually serious about you. Because you don't want to spend months, maybe years of your life on a guy who's just going to waste your time in the end. No, you should find that out within the first date. I explain this and a lot more in my book. It's in my bio if you want to read it.
If your dating bio sounds negative, you're pushing women away. Here's a quick profile tune-up tip. If your profile says things like, no drama, no games, stop wasting my time, it doesn't make you look strong. It makes you look frustrated. And frustrated isn't attractive. Instead, list the things that you do want, not what you don't want. Replace no drama with this instead. Looking for someone positive and easygoing. Replace don't waste my time with I value honesty and clear communication. See the difference? Same standards, better delivery. Your bio shouldn't sound like a warning label. It should sound like confidence. Dating apps do work if you use them with intention. If you want your profile professionally rewritten, DM TuneUp.
You know, a lot of these modern women really don't understand that men are seeing the same thing over and over again. When I date this woman, it don't really matter if you're black, white, Hispanic. Men are seeing the same thing. And quite frankly, you're seeing it across different continents. You're seeing it in Asia. You're seeing it in Australia. You're seeing it here in the US. Might be seeing it in Canada. You're seeing it in South America. It doesn't really matter. In certain sects and portions of wherever region you're in, there's a certain agenda that is being pushed where these modern women are acting a certain way. Men are seeing that and saying, oh, I know where this is about to go. I'm out.
When a woman pulls away, most men respond in two main ways. Either chase her or they go cold on her. Chasing her is going to feel like pressure, and that's actually going to only push her away. And going cold on her is like a punishment. Both are going to make her nervous system tighten up. The better move you men need to make in those situations is calm leadership. If she's a woman you want to pursue and she's worth it, then here's what you say. You can gently call her out and tell her, I feel that something has changed. Let me know when you're ready to talk about it. There's no begging, no stonewalling. Just stay grounded in who you are and lead the situation. Women a lot of the times do not know how to communicate their emotions, and they need to be led by the masculine.
Most men start their healing journey when they lose the woman that they could have been with forever. When she leaves, he has no other option but to confront the little boy within him and the unresolved wounds that slowly pushed her away over time. When he loses the woman that he loves more than anything, he starts asking a greater question of, what the fuck do I do? And he will literally do anything. And this is where he starts asking different questions, and he will typically be more open to doing the inner work. And this is where a man will either face himself, do the inner work and heal and become the best version of himself on the other side, or he'll just get into the next thing and continue to repeat the patterns that he just experienced as he lost the woman that he loves more than anything.
And, you can sit up here and say, oh, is there a man that's willing to help? Is there a man that's willing to, kind of show that chivalry and stuff like that? But I think a bigger question you should probably be asking, and maybe it's probably a bigger problem, is, am I willing to give back? Am I willing to be feminine? Am I willing to nurture? Am I willing to put in effort right? Am I willing to say, okay, I appreciate what you're doing? A lot of women think that chivalry is only one-sided, and a man is only supposed to do certain things, right? But let's look at your version of chivalry. What is it that you do? And then when we start asking those questions, we come right back on to the question that men be asking women, modern women, and they get upset. What do you bring to the table? What is it that you can do? How is it when I'm supporting you? How is it that you can support me? How can you support a family? Do you want to support a family? What type of person are you? And that's usually when modern women crash out and they don't want to answer those type of questions.
The idea that women struggle with accountability is a myth. Women do not struggle with accountability. They struggle with not being able to control the narrative anymore. Because when nobody questions you, when nobody asks for clarity, when nobody expects consistency, oh my goodness, you're in heaven. That's freedom, and freedom feels good. But the moment somebody says, yo, help me understand this, or you said one thing, but you actually did something else, or something like your impact didn't quite match your intention, suddenly it's labeled pressure, control. There is no struggle with accountability. This struggle with accountability is intentional. Accountability isn't control. Control removes choices. Accountability simply asks you to stand by the choices you already made. Accountability doesn't silence you. It's not going to trap you. It just removes the escape routes and make you stand by what you did.
You can't ask a man to lead and then fight him for the steering wheel every time he makes a turn. Ladies, some of y'all don't want a leader. You want a man that follows your directions. You say you want a masculine man, a decisive man, a man that takes initiative, but the second he makes a decision that you wouldn't have made, now you're irritated. Now it's, why would you do that? I would have did it this way. You should have asked me first. And after a while, he stops leading. Not because he can't, because every decision turns into a debate. Let's be honest, some women say they want a man to take charge, but only if he's taking charge exactly how they would have done it. That's not leadership, that's control. And then years later, you frustrated. You feel like you're carrying everything, making all the decisions, planning everything, but nobody talks about how sometimes a man stops leading because every time he tried, he got corrected. Now, before y'all start, I'm not talking about following a man into foolishness. A man should have vision. He should be wise. He should be accountable. But if he's a good man and his heart is in the right place, every decision doesn't need a committee meeting. Because a lot of women are praying for a leader while making leadership impossible. And those two things cannot exist at the same time.
See, my problem is I'm educated, but I don't want none of those things that those other women be talking about when it comes to a man. I don't want no real man. I don't. I want a man with a little prejudice and a little gender bias. I want a man who his idea of coming home and relaxing is, oh, he done just got off work. He done had a long day. He finna come home, take his shoes off, take a shower, come rest up. He looking for his plate and he want to sit down and drink a beer and watch the game, catch up on the news or actually play the game. That's my idea of a man who want to go sit in the man cave and, you know, he ain't really on the phone. He ain't talking to nobody too much. Everybody calling him. He just got to answer the phone. He taking time out with his friends and he already know I'm not going to argue with him about whether or not I need to put on some clothes because this is my house, and whether or not he needs to be able to go out with his friends and talk, or whether they can come in the house and I go into the other room. He ain't rationalizing and reasoning with women all the time. He heard what I said. He ain't give a damn about what I said. He wasn't trying to argue with me about what I said because he don't give a real about what I said because I'm just the one. You get what I'm saying? I'm probably on my period. He don't know. I probably had a bad day. My mama probably made me mad. That's the type of man I want. So when I be listening to y'all say what type of man y'all want, I don't ever impose that on y'all. But y'all ask for because you're looking for because you're sitting there talking about what a real man is, and a woman ain't supposed to define a man. And women ain't comfortable with that. I am.
The way that a lot of women struggle with taking accountability is actually insane, because in a relationship, situationship, or whatever it is, the man tends to pull away because the female cannot take accountability. And then she ends up actually calling it quits, and she wants to be all like, yeah, you know, I left the man, you know, because he was this and that. But it's like, what? Like, he's only this and that because you're this and that, you know? It doesn't just start with the man. I don't think that men are out here doing things for no reason. Like, if a man disrespects you, you came at him first, but you won't want to say that. You won't want to admit to that, or you're so blindsided by your insecurities and ego that you can't realize that you started. You created all of this, you know? One-on-one coaching is in my bio.
Men are starting to realize that chasing a woman isn't important anymore, and they're starting to choose themselves. And I'm proud of us for starting to be woke now. You know what I mean? Because chasing girls, I mean, I've said this plenty of times, like, chasing doesn't get you nowhere. Chasing just leads to heartbreak. Chasing just leads to a facade. Chasing just leads to not real connection. You feel me? And it's like, men are choosing themselves. Men are elevating. You know what I'm saying? We're getting motivated. We're trying to work on ourselves now. You feel me? There is no time to chase. There's no time for distractions. I mean, I fuck with that. You feel me? Like, of course we're going to choose ourselves. Because honestly, at the end of the day, if we choose ourselves and we work on ourselves, that means we're going to be attracting more what we want, what we really want. You feel me? And it's like, we have to be selfish at a time like this. We have to. Like, we have to lock in. And we have to take life serious, because if
a lot of women, they don't realize that they are the issue. And so we have a problem taking accountability. We have a problem shutting up. We are extremely argumentative, and a lot of times we are the walking red flag.
Can I ask that question if you don't mind?
Sure.
Like, why do black women refuse to shut the up?
Ooh, that's a heavy.
Why?
That's a heavy loaded question.
Why?
Look, they can't shut up the answer.
I want to know why.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Shut up the answer.
It just goes back to what she said. A lot of it is lineage. So a lot of women, we saw our mothers and we saw our grandmothers being, wait, let me cook, because it's not all of us. Some of us do know how to be quiet, but
they're the married ones.
But a lot of times we watch our mamas and we watch our grandmothers and great grandmothers not shut up, right? It's a generational curse. I'm gonna be honest with you, because we was raised in households where the women had to handle. Okay, we had to pay the bills. We had to be independent. We had to run households, and we had to raise kids alone. So yeah, a lot of times we not gonna shut the up, because this is my shit and I've been doing it. However, it's not right. And what I had to learn is learning to be quiet is a skill. Okay, especially when you don't come from that example, you have to learn how to be quiet. You have to learn how to submit, and you have to learn how to not be argumentative. And a lot of women don't take the time to learn that skill.
Man, this is the Nothing But the Truth live podcast.
I'm never going to get married. I don't want to get married.
Why?
There's no benefit for the man. He only has everything to lose.
What?
A man can be completely faithful to his wife, provide, protect, take care of the kids, you know, obviously when he's not working, whatever. And the wife can step out and cheat. And what's the result of that? Man has to pay alimony, has to pay child support, loses his house, loses the cars, loses everything. Why? What's the point? And then, like, it's a coin flip. Flip a coin if your marriage is going to work. Those are the odds. Those are the chances. If you want to get married, cool. Throw a wedding, put the rings on each other, say your vows, you're married. You don't have to submit nothing with the courts. Yeah.
Die alone?
The only reason why somebody is not okay being alone is because they're not okay with themselves.
Exactly. I agree.
That's it. Like, if you're not okay being alone, you have issues with yourself that you need to take care of.
The last show I was on got pretty heated, but I came in with a different energy this time.
More so would you say it was your energy that was off last time then?
I guess I reacted in ways maybe I don't prefer to react this time.
How did you react last time?
I got really triggered by your energy last time, but this time I'd like to be more composed.
Okay.
I mean, I'll be honest, the beginning of the show was pretty intense. I was like, wow, I got to come into this space. I try to usually put myself in high vibrational positive spaces, so this is really out of my comfort zone.
Would it make it more high vibrational if Brian you this time?
I really enjoyed the whip. I had someone me because it was an emotional release.
What is the vibrational level of BDSM whipping?
I don't really know. I just try tried it one time, and it was like a release. It was a spiritual thing.
The whipping was a positive, right?
It was.
So then
was
it had to be high vibration, right?
Definitely,
Yeah, so
yes.
what vibration do you think BDSM whipping's at? High vibration stuff?
I'd say so. I wanted to release trauma that was stored in my body, and it definitely did the job.
In the spirit of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, let's talk about this. I'm going to assume people don't already know this, but there's a concept called paternity fraud. And that is when the baby mama knows that the child is not yours, and hopefully you can prove it, and they intentionally make you take care of a child that's not yours. It's much more complicated than I'm simplifying right now, but I just want you to leave here knowing that you are able to sue someone for making you hold a bunch. In this case, this man tried to take his wife to court because the last-born child was not his. But because of technicalities, he did not win the case. But I really want you to go through it so you can teach yourself more about what you actually do need to prove to be successful in court in this circumstance. There's also a website called familylaws.co.za that you can go to read more about this topic. My aim here is to remove you from the mentality that the law only favors women. The law is very equal and it's very fair. You just have to use it.
I told my husband I wanted a divorce. I walked myself through the logistics of where would I live, how would we split the time with the kids. He is the most self-disciplined, loyal, hardworking, good person. That is the reason why I have not left. The reason that pushed me to even bring up divorce and talk about it was the fact that I feel like I can't be myself with my husband. And it's really confusing because I'm 32 years old. I am a mom of 3. And I still don't know who I am.
Okay, I have to stop it here. You're not going to find yourself by breaking the most sacred vow that you've made to your husband and destroying your children's sense of stability and your marriage and your home this way. You're not going to find your true self that way. This is the me focus of our culture today. The way we understand ourselves in the end is by being in right order before God and other people. And if you're married, as this woman freely chose to get married and is married, as she's expressing in this video, then part of your identity is wife, and she's clearly mother. Part of your identity is mother. And you can live out your wife and being a mother in many different ways, or just for life. You are married. You have made that promise. And so you are actually being untrue to yourself, violating yourself by rejecting your husband and rejecting your marriage and ultimately rejecting the family that you built together. And I'm speaking this out of love because she's about to destroy her life, her marriage, and harm her children and harm her relationship with God. Let's just pray for all marriages. They're under major attack today. God's way is always going to be better. We follow that path, we will discover the greatest meaning and joy and peace, and any other path that the world may be offering us is a lie.
So many women out there who are not enjoying the that they're having. And I'll tell you why. It's not any fault of men. It's not any fault of any of ours, but the way that we are taught to have sex heavily prioritizes male pleasure. So I'll go into the full science geek out on you here. What's happening when we have intercourse is not the most pleasurable activity for women. We've actually polled our audience before. We have over 1 million people in our community on Instagram. And we asked women, is intercourse the most pleasurable activity for you? I want you to guess what percentage of women said yes, it is. Intercourse is the most pleasurable activity for me.
Well, you said it's not very many. I'll say.
I know. I set you up a little bit.
40%.
9.
Wait, what? 9%?
9% of women
Enjoy intercourse.
say that intercourse is the most pleasurable activity for them.
No kidding?
9%.
All right, what's the most?
I truly believe most women go to bars and clubs to reject men to kind of have their revenge at the last man that did them dirty. I've seen it so many times. I get rejected, but I be seeing just random guys in the bars and the clubs, they get rejected. These guys ain't ugly.
This is the kind of red pill manosphere incel content that gets pushed out to men. Instead of thinking, maybe she didn't talk to me because I'm not her type or because she's not interested in a man right now, they think, no. Before she even came here, she planned to reject me. No, maybe it's just you. I posted a video not that long ago about a man saying that single women are secretly miserable and that they cry themselves to sleep at night. They have to think stuff like that. They have to think that, oh, she planned to reject any man before she even got here. This is how they soothe that bruised ego. Some of them are so drunk off the Kool-Aid of the patriarchy that they really believe that each and every one of them deserves every baddie that they approach. They think it's impossible that they're not every woman's type. Listen to the shock in his voice when he says even handsome men get rejected. Because when women say they're decentering men, they mean the handsome ones too. No matter how many times women jump online to tell men exactly what women want, they still think they can mansplain it to us all. Good luck with that.
The reason why my videos about texting and communication addiction bother people so much and they're really upsetting and triggering for people is because people have zero tolerance for uncertainty. They have zero tolerance to not have all the information all the time. People are so overstimulated and they're addicted to this constant information and constant stimulation to the point where if there's a gap in that, if there's a pause, if there's a moment of silence, if there's a void, then they go into catastrophic thinking and a lot of people will just pull the plug on the relationship immediately. And if what I'm saying is true, then that means they're going to have to develop their tolerance for uncertainty. Nobody wants that to be true. They say, no, we just need more stimulation, more communication. Enable my addiction. And so that's why you'll see all of these comments where people are like, no, Sydney's wrong, Sydney's wrong. And the reality is, my opinion is that people should not stay addicted to constant stimulation. You should develop your tolerance for uncertainty. You should flex that muscle. You should be able to handle a pause or a moment of silence. Someone should be able to just go think without you crashing out. I think it's an important skill and I'm not shifting my position on it.
Really enjoyed hanging out with you. Maybe we can see each other again sometime? Yeah. What about dinner on maybe Tuesday?
On a school night? Are you crazy? I'm a mommy, okay? Mamacita. Don't do that. That's crazy.
The next weekend?
Mommy-daughter weekend, so.
The one after that?
I'm traveling for work.
The one after that?
We just don't know, you know? We don't know if we'll like each other by then. Let's just play it by ear. I think I have a 10 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday.
Perfect. Want to do breakfast?
No, it's like a 15-minute window. I can squeeze you in for a little quickie.
Oh, yeah.
I need you to fix my light bulb. Like actually fix my light bulb. I can't reach, so bring a toolkit.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it was so awesome meeting you, Gregory. And I'll send you a calendar invite, okay?
Perfect.
Keep a lookout.
The cruelest thing a wife can do to her husband is to be unhappy on principle. I won't be happy until. I won't be happy unless you. I'm only happy when you. If your happiness is dependent on your husband changing, he's going to feel controlled and manipulated. And no masculine man wants to be controlled or manipulated by his wife. It's much easier to point the finger and blame someone else for your disposition. Yes, your spouse can add to your happiness and contentment, but at the end of the day, your happiness is your own personal responsibility.
In the many conversations I've had with divorced men, I have found there's 4 top reasons that men want to avoid divorce. Number 1, it's the financial hit. They don't want to divide by 2. They don't want to pay child support or alimony. They don't want the lifestyle shift of going from a 2-income household to a 1-income household. Number 2, not seeing their kids. They're going to go from seeing their kids 100% of the time for every holiday and special occasion to 50% of the time, in some cases less, which is actually why a lot of times they will take up coaching their kids' sports so they can still see their kids on the days they don't actually have them. Number 3, they do it to avoid ending the comfortable and convenient routine and structure of their life. I mean, humans are creatures of habit. So even if the home situation isn't great, turning it upside down and finding a new identity as the divorced guy or the divorced dad is still far less preferable. It's the devil you know versus the devil you don't. And then finally, number 4, and it's very distant and rare, they don't want to lose their wife because they could be losing the one. I've really only heard this a handful of times. So are there any other reasons out there that I missed?
But the reason a lot of men ghost women is because women don't just make it easy for you to break up with them either. You see what I'm saying? Sure.
This about to be toxic because...
Gladly. So, again, it done been plenty of men. These women in the audience, these beautiful women in the audience that been dating. And he done sat her down and said, look, baby, you deserve better than me. You do. You know what I'm saying? You can do so much better than me. I'm not the man you need me to be right now. And I think that you should go out there and try to find somebody that's a bit more compatible for you. And that woman will look that man dead in the eyes and say, you can't tell me what I deserve. Right? So a lot of men feel like we got to give a damn PowerPoint presentation to get out of the relationship, and to avoid that, they'll just ghost your ass. Again, I'm not validating the behavior. I'm just giving perspective.
A man that needs multiple women's attention will never respect you because he doesn't even respect himself. He thinks that makes him the man, but realistically that's insecurity dressed up as confidence. He needs constant validation that boosts his ego and constant proof that he's still desired. So he flirts, entertains, and keeps doors open because he's afraid of being alone with who he really is. A man like that doesn't know how to value one woman, so he measures his worth by how many he could keep around. And if he needs attention from everyone, he will never protect the feelings of anyone.
What does a judge notice immediately when parents walk into court?
Your clothing, your hair, your demeanor. Most importantly, how you look at the other parent. Are you looking at them with a vengeance look, like I'm gonna tear you apart, you piece of shit? Or are you looking at them, let's try to cooperate and get into some type of a co-parenting agreement? So yeah, that's the first thing the judge would notice.
I got a kid, I got a son because a lady pushed him out. Like, who made him for him to have
Okay, I'll answer you scientifically. So you just asked the question. You said, where did the man come from? You said, well, the woman. Well, not exactly, because biologically, the man holds the X and the Y chromosome, so he determines the sex of the baby. So the reason why you're here is not because of your mother. You're actually a woman, and you're right here because of your father. Not only that, do you know that the gene that the placenta comes from the man? So you thought that that came from the mother, where the mother is given the nutrients and all of that. The mother determines the sex of the baby. No, all of this comes from the man. You said that, how did the man get here? From the mother. No, the man got here from his father. All of y'all should call y'all father, because that's why you here.
And, you know, modern women continue to say, you know, why is this guy not asking me out? Why won't this guy shoot his shot? Why is this guy seeing me, staring at me, but he's hesitating? I mean, at some point in time, maybe you should realize what the man is going through. Maybe you should realize, you know what? This date really cost him. You know what? You know, he might have to spend a little time. He might have to spend some, well, you know, we both spending time, but you know, he's got to spend his money on the date. Instead of just saying, well, you know, I spend my money too, in a way, because I use my makeup, and, you know, I go get a spray tan, and one woman said, man, I took a workout class. I was like, girl, that workout class ain't gonna do nothing for nobody. You just started working out. You went to one workout class. You didn't lose no weight. As far as I'm concerned, you wasted, well, I mean, you didn't waste your time, but if you saying that you did it for him, you wasted your time. You need to have been doing that well before you met him, during the time that you met him, and then after the time that you met him. That's how these modern women do. They try to assign stuff to men and say, oh, well, you know, I'm doing it for you, so I got to spend money in a way. No, you're going to spend that money anyway.